whatever time of day it is to you. I am lighting a little candle and calling in the elements here and the spirit as we gather for a new moon reading that is happening in this day's cycle. So thank you for being here with me, House of the Mystical Maven. My name is Shelly, and just gonna read some tarot for you today. I have a one posted from last week. I'm sorry, not last week, last month, and it seems like a really long time away. And a lot has kind of transpired personally and collectively, and the direction we're going feels like we've really set foot on our path. Some of us may have been working on some projects kind of quietly or to ourselves, and others may be starting to catch some attention to those. And I see that your focus is both determined and unwavering in what it is that you're setting forth towards. Is the energy that I was getting prior to turning on the recording and meditating with the energies. So shout out to my sister Joy. Sent me this t-shirt from my old neighborhood in Asheville, Taco Billy. She is at a Qigong retreat in Thailand right now, so I'm really excited for her and her venture. And just that commitment to health and wellness and the path that feels most aligned. I'm also going to use this deck, the Sun and Moon Tarot, that she had sent me a while back, actually about a year ago now. Small deck. I really like it. Simple illustrations. We'll see where we go with it. I'll probably pull from some other decks as well. But this deck was just kind of calling to me now. So thank you again for being here. With the tarot, not everything is going to resonate, so don't try to make anything fit that doesn't really sound relevant to you and where you are with your energy. That doesn't mean there isn't something here for you, but that not all the messages will be for everyone. And maybe they will be. Six of Swords kind of popping out there, which is science in this deck, also known as a victory card in other decks, but kind of neat that the way they describe it as being more strategic, which is definitely that mental energy of swords, kind of like what I was saying, like focusing on the application of something that feels really important to your process, whatever that process may be. In my vision, I was seeing it as someone who was working in electronics, kind of with tuning in a sound or finding a rhythm, finding some kind of like rhythm. Also was like bearded with a mustache. I don't know. So maybe that's somebody you know. Maybe that's just to let you know if that sounds familiar. Maybe this resonates, but building a process for your application, for your science, okay? All right. Thank you, Spirit, for the messages. Thank you for the guidance. Taking a deep breath. Let's settle in here with a few deep breaths together. Breathing in through the nose, just feeling that oxygen come in, filling the lungs, filling the belly. And then on the exhale, just releasing out fully and completely what is not necessary. Just letting go of the day so far with the breath. Breathing in. Welcoming that awareness into your intuition, that awakening of the third eye. With the breath and with the exhale, just releasing the shoulders down, anchoring down, grounding into the earth energy, feeling that stability of the ground beneath you, feeling your seat below you, feeling the support of what's around you. Four of Wands, which is completion card in this deck, often talks about some kind of like a celebration, some type of graduation, some type of turning of the wheel together. Wands is fire energy, so this could be working together on something that honors how far you've come. Just kind of popping out there. Yeah, so this may be something that kind of like reflects something around you that fuels like a passion. So maybe sometimes there seems to be like a bit of emotion behind it all that like gets it going, if that makes sense. And you know, we kind of like need each other in this way. It feels kind of dependent on one another. Okay. Okay, Four of Cups, the Moon card, Ace of Cups. Okay, I don't know exactly how many cards I'm going to pull out here. I'm just kind of going with the flow and doing what feels right, what feels guided. Interesting, the Moon card comes out because we are honoring the new moon with this reading. So, you know, this could be syncing something in the number 18. This could be syncing something, you know, that takes a little time. You know, it's this Four of Cups is the sitting. This card, it says luxury. Oftentimes it's about remembering to hold gratitude for what you have, because it's interesting too. There's kind of like this moon behind her and this cup sort of maybe floating off from space, surrounded by water. And cups is the suit of water. So maybe just feeling enveloped really in your own stuff, in your own emotions, maybe even a little too watery, like there's a swelling up. And maybe because there's a lot of comfort around you. It makes me think of this phrase, like in the Princess of Swords, about, I think it's like a Fiona Apple song. It's like, I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable most of the time. So it seems like maybe you're in a bit of a comfort zone here. Maybe it's time to kind of give some of this water, to release the valve on some of this water. There is a swelling up, this moon, this circle in the background, and the way that the petals are unfolding, it's like almost like the roots are getting a bit soggy here, so it's time to kind of let some air in. Okay, and the Princess of Swords I did see as well. Time to let some air in, time to start talking about some things, maybe that you've been holding on to. It's like, you know, you get comfortable in a place, and so you don't want to ruffle feathers, you don't want to stir the pot. And I think this place, though, can sometimes feel a bit, well, bored in a lot of cases, but it's really just because there might be some things that you're not saying that are true to your feelings here, and so they're starting to swell a little bit from underneath, and you're not wanting to really let some of that go. The moon is actually, now we're in the new moon period, but I get the sense that this moon is talking more about what it is that it's going to be shining light with these lighthouses towards. And there's even two fish, just like Pisces, in the water here. So that's really cool. That feels like a confirmation about where we are right now in Pisces season. So yeah, and again, like the theme of like something coming from the watery depths, and maybe you are kind of feeling into your emotions a lot right now, and I would suggest that it's whatever is being shown to you, whatever kind of, and this might be really regarding things in the dream space, things that you're not really tapping into consciously in your waking, because you want to stay comfortable, because you want to stay in this place of your zone of homeostasis. Don't want to rock the boat too much. Okay, the moon is actually saying like there's a split that's sort of happening. There's a crack here somewhere, and this is where the light wants to come in, right? And the and Pisces season is a gift for us dreamers, because it really is a time when the swell of water from like the depths starts to awaken, stir, from a deep level, a deep subconscious level, things that are shared like in amongst those even we may not find to be our like magnetic attractors, if that makes sense. What I'm getting here is that you might find yourself on one end of a spectrum, and this moon is actually unearthing some some likenesses within a polarity, okay, that you can start to find as you release some of the emotions that are shared by not just yourself but others too. And the reason I'm saying that is because of the way this moon is here, kind of between. So here's the fish, like the Pisces symbol. My nails are beautifully done by my daughter. I'll have you know. And then each side of these pillars with the lighthouses, there's a black and then a white on each side. And she's kind of dangling in the middle on the moon, right? So it's like this is a receptive state. This whole thing feels very receptive. It's Four of Cups, the moon, and Ace of Cups. So it's very water energy, very appropriate for the season that we're in right now. And the way that she's sort of hanging up above the water makes me think that it's trying to reach her, right? Like it wants to reach her, but it requires another level. It requires a deeper level. It might require assistance with something else, like an aid. Like, what I mean by that is like, otherwise you're sitting in this luxury. You're sitting in the Four of Cups, but what wants to reach you comes from a deeper place than your everyday. So this may require some you to receive guidance from something higher, not necessarily higher, but another source. It could be a guide, it could be a spirit guide, it could be the aid of something like, doing some dream work with plants like mugwort or something like that. Or it could be calling on even just like meditations that assist you in deeper states of sleep, so that you're able to um kind of like rest and receive what it is that this Piscean wave wants to like bring to you. I've had some interesting dreams already in this Pisces season. I have a bit of Pisces in my chart, so I do resonate a lot with this watery energy. Even though my sun sign is fire, I do spend a lot of time in that dream realm and receiving and being receptive to those energies. So I've been dancing with creatures and crustaceans in the watery realm. I've also seen pools of objects, like several pianos, in the watery realm. So this could be something. This could be something that actually, with now that I'm moving through this, I do feel like it's divinely gifted with this Ace of Cups being the card of like universal loving energy. Sometimes it comes in the form of a person, but also it could be in the form of an expression that you take on for yourself. So this could be that cup. See how there's like a cup kind of off in the distance here. I don't know. I know it's a little bit blurry. There's this cup kind of floating towards her. She has 3 in her hand, and then one cup is kind of floating from this moon space, right? And that's the cup that she's not looking towards, because it's like it's one of those gifts that if you're looking for it, you're going to miss it, right? Like it's something that is a gift, right? It unexpected and yet also very divinely guided. So you'll know it. You'll know it when you receive it. It could be the form of like um lyrics to a song. You know, you might not think yourself a songwriter. You might not think yourself um to have an expression, you know, of creation type source energy. But what I'm seeing here is that you do have access to those realms, and it really wants to be given to you. And almost it's like, hey, you know what, why don't you trade these 3 cups, you know, that you've had, and receive this one just like overflowing, ever giving source of love. And there's also geometrical shape in the water here. So rather than being like a lotus which blooms from the mud, you know, and I'm getting the sense that this lotus in the 4 of Cups has very watery roots, almost to the point where it needs some air and, you know, to be drained. I don't know if that's true to the plant of the lotus, but I'm just kind of reading the energy of the cards here. Whereas in the Ace of Cups, when this energy is given to you in this receptivity of the moon, meaning, you know, as the cycles progress and this Ace of Cups comes in, there's an imprint in the water, right? So like it's embedded into the water. Water is programmable in the sense that you can shift the consciousness of water. We are mostly water, right? And so you can shift this consciousness of water with the way that we emerge from the depths, what Pisces is dreaming up for us, if that's making sense. So it's really kind of fascinating because it's sort of taking the personalness out of the the ability to give and receive this loving energy, and it's really beautiful. So there's a potential here for you to be given access to your dreams. What, take that as you will. This could be literal. This could be dreams you've had since you were a child. This could be dreams that you've been sitting on for years. This could be dreams that maybe just came to you like kind of in a flash, unexpectedly. This could also be dreams like when you're sleeping. But, you know, take it as you will, how it, you know, fits for you. 2 of Swords. I knew that card was going to show up today. I just had this feeling that 2 of Swords is going to show up today. Because there's this deck, I love that it calls it peace. In other decks, it's really more displaying like a stagnancy. I don't know how much longer I'm going to read. We're already at 20 minutes, and I just kind of wanted to get more clarity on this message. But I feel like the 2 of Swords just sort of reiterates this stance of sitting in the 3D, sort of like waiting for something. And there's a big lake. She's sort of on this dock with the water behind. So there is like, but it's swords energy, so it's mental, right? So there seems to be, this one flipped here, 7 of Swords, strategy, futility. Yeah, that feeling of like nothing's coming to me and there's nothing for me. that's that's not the strategy that we're looking for here. There's no strategy in just giving up. So maybe you're settled in peace for a moment, but it's interesting that these two cards are swords energy, which is very mental, when the cups energy is really talking about getting into our feelings rather than into our thinking. Four of Pentacles, another four, which is power. And that's really about the structure, creating stability with the resources, creating a foundation that you can derive your sense of this is more tangible. So Four of Cups is also a number 4, and we also have the Four of Wands come out in the shuffle. So a lot of 4 energy might be a number that, you know, is significant to you. Oftentimes talks about like the beginning structure of something. So maybe you are structuring your life around some dreams that you've had for a while. Still shuffling because I feel like there's more that wants to come out underneath this here. But the Ace of Cups with the Four of Pentacles underneath is like, okay, let's build the foundation for that ace to come in, and let's kind of release some of this water. Let's kind of let go of that energy of like nothing, none of this is working, or, you know, there's a few too many things that popped out there. I dropped one. Oh, here it is. And that Four of Wands again. Okay. So I'm getting the sense that this water is wanting to reflect something to you, in the form of maybe another person. So you could be kind of coming together with another body, another human body, or maybe several, sharing this energy of like, okay, we got to keep this going. Like, we got to keep. So now we have 3 4s on the board. It's almost like you can't do it alone, you know. It's not that you can't do it alone. There's a certain amount of there's a certain amount of peace you can have being in your own skin. But to go a step further, to go deeper, requires you to share with others, is kind of how it's coming out. And it's okay to do that. There may have been something in the past, maybe even things about yourself that you felt like you needed to keep secret, to preserve your sense of self and your peace. It's like it was hard to open up. And maybe because, you know, it creates a well of emotions. And so it maybe that feeling of, you know, I need to feel really stable in myself. I need to find my own power before I begin to, you know, open up or share with another. I don't think that was a conscious choice. I think that's kind of what the moon is coming to say and to bring to you, is like this reminder that like we're not meant to do all of it alone. And I don't know what it is. It could be a project. It could be just like a sense of I mean, it could be a lot of things, really, I'm getting like a lot of different ways that this could apply, especially the way that this, did I show you the Seven of Swords? How she's sitting on this cloud by herself. Her head is down in her hand, or no, her one hand has a sword in it, and then there's other swords that are kind of on the clouds there. So, it's almost like, what good are the thoughts if you're not sharing it with anybody? And also, what good is all the thinking doing if we're blocking ourselves from um feeling the things that reveal a true sense of love. And I don't really feel like this is like super romantic, but I feel like this is on more of just like a sense of like humanity, right? This person is also um protected. They've built like castles of sand around themselves, and there's like a fragility to that, right? Like, it says power, but I'm getting the sense that it's almost like um it's almost like you're blocking or you're barricading the air around you as a form of protection. It's almost taking away from the power. Maybe you're in attempts to preserve the power, um but you know I don't know, what's peace if it can't be shared? What's luxury if it's only for the oneself? There's this feeling of isolation throughout the reading. This Ace of Cups gives this like really vivid sense that there's so much in plenty and ever flowing. And then this Four of Wands is where it's like this mirror comes in, or this balance, this maybe masculine feminine balance, could be with the self, could be with another, but it's a shared sense that we're doing this together. And even if it means that we've given up, our luxury, we've given up our sense of peace, we've given up our power, I think those are like also can be kind of illusions in the grander scheme, because the moon can be a little bit also, it's not always just about revealing light in the dark. It's also sometimes about illusions. It's sometimes about a. I feel like there's a bit of a warning here that, you know, these things may seem great, but if it's all just for one, then what's it all for? You know what I mean? Um, so this completion, this Four of Wands, which I think more of like as a celebration, feels like, yes, we're committing here. Maybe even committing is a word, for, because this number four keeps showing up. We're committing to being on this wheel together, you know, hell or high water is kind of like the sense. And it's okay. Like, if there's moments that are hard and trying, we'll let that, be what it is. But it's like, hey, you know what? You're here and I'm here and we're doing this together. No matter what it looks like, I might have days that are, you know, not my best, but I'm going to show up, and the Seven of Swords, this is what we have to get over. The Seven of Swords, this futile sense, excuse me, that's the challenge, is start to let those thoughts go, you don't have to sit with thoughts that aren't serving you anymore. Start to lay the foundation and start to kind of take action. Rest when you will. Allow the dreams to be received, even if it's from a deeper place. Um, like trust that it's coming. You'll know when it's lining up. You'll know the difference between something that is, I mean, and maybe not. Maybe that's also part of the challenge, is to be, attuned to like um what is more clear, and that takes practice, that takes clarifying for yourself what is important and true for you. So, okay. I think I'm going to leave it there. It's at 30 minutes, and I hope this was helpful. I think that I don't even want to say I think, because I feel like we want to feel into this next place, and we want to feel it, and we want to allow others to also see us in our feelings. I think that's part of the challenge here. Um, New moon blessings to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I love you. Take care. Mwah. Thank you, Spirit.